Hey everyone, Life Coach Carissa here. Are you constantly running on empty because you are trying to make sure everyone else around you is perfectly happy? Maybe you're saying yes to every summer invite, biting your tongue to keep the peace, or overscheduling your life out of pure guilt. Well, today we are diving into the people pleasing trap, trading being liked for being real. We like to tell ourselves that we are just being nice, but the hard truth is that constantly chasing approval is a survival strategy that forces you to completely abandon yourself. I'm going to show you how to step out of the approval loop and find the courage to stand in your own authenticity. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? How are things going for you? It's like the start of summer. I hope your summer is starting off well, but as we all know, life throws you challenges no matter what type of year. So I hope you're doing well, but I know we have challenges that we have to get through together, right? This shirt, I just want to show it off. A former client of mine and friend got this for me, and it is wonderful because it says the phrase perfectly and perfect, which is matches my tattoo. That is a phrase that I use frequently in my life just to remind myself that it is not about being perfect. So thank her for this. I love this sweet gesture. All right, so this month we are talking about a very heavy, very real world reality that I think so many of us are living out every single day in some way, shape, or form, and that is the cost of keeping everyone happy. Now, the trickiest part about people pleasing trap is that most of us don't even know we are in it. I certainly didn't. For the first 4 decades of my life, I just thought I was being a good, supportive person. It wasn't until I hit my late 40s and I began my own awakening and transformation journey that I finally took a pause, looked around, and realized that I had been losing myself trying to make sure everyone else was okay with me. And I don't even think I was doing a very good job at that, I will admit. When I look back, my own addiction to approval started with my father. He was a commanding, professional businessman, and his approval felt incredibly fleeting and hard to catch. So as a young girl, I went into this hypervigilant mode. I did everything that I could to comply, to perform, and to pursue a sign that he was proud of me. Eventually, by the time I hit my teenage years, I got tired of chasing it, and I think I swung to the complete opposite extreme. I became a rebel, making harmful choices for my own health and safety. I was driven by that raw, unfulfilled need for support. And by my early 20s, I was deeply resentful, burned out, and I was operating as a demanding, controlling individual because I was just so exhausted from trying to please everyone. Because I don't think I was doing a very good job at it. So I was like, okay, this isn't working. So even inside of our family business, as an adult, when I had my own family, I can see where that programming ran the show. I would make choices that weren't in my or my family's best interest. I would prioritize work and leave my family in moments when I really should have been present, all because I felt this tremendous pressure to perform to the expectations that I felt had been laid out for me since childhood. You know, they're subtle sometimes, right? They're not even blatantly implied to us or laid out for us, but sometimes they are implied subconsciously. So it's like, do you know what that feels like? To constantly look for outside cues that you're doing good while completely forgetting about yourself. Because when you live like this, your own desires get buried so deep that you don't even know how to think about them first. You know, I am grateful that I was able to see the ultimate end game of this pattern. Somewhat recently, in this past year, I was having a conversation with my 83-year-old mother. And I was asking her some of the most basic questions you could ask a person. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite song? And she honestly just looked at me completely bewildered. I think after living a long life in a relationship where the other person demanded their needs come first, she had just completely forgotten what it even meant to have her own desires. She had really become like Jell-O, just going with the flow to keep the peace. And seeing that made me pause. And while I don't think I went to that exact extreme or that exact example, I realized that instead of becoming jello, I had been hoarding a tremendous amount of resentment inside my body and my mind. And this is what I want you to hear me say, because people pleasing is an illusion. I sometimes go to the extreme to even say people pleasing is a lie, because I want that shock value. People don't want to go around lying, but people pleasing can often be that. We tell ourselves the lie that we are just being nice or doing good things. We lean into that maternal nurturing conditioning that maybe tells us it's our job to ensure everyone else is taken care of, and we worry that focusing on ourselves is selfish. But here is the reality check that we should and need to wake up to. When you constantly reject your own needs to secure someone else's approval, you absolutely disconnect from yourself in some way, some manner. Maybe it's small, maybe it'll grow over time, but it completely erodes your self-respect and crushes your confidence. Now, personal growth isn't about swinging from one extreme to the other. I don't want you to become a reckless rebel who doesn't care about anyone else at all. It is about finding the healthy middle ground. How do you honor your own needs and desires while still being a caring, supportive, and loving person to others? And I think it starts with reclaiming your authenticity. Authenticity is simply the quality of just being genuine, real, and true to yourself. It means aligning your actions and your words with your core values rather than pretending to be someone you aren't just to keep up, this desire to keep the room calm, to keep everyone happy, to keep everyone happy with you. I mean, think about a tree planted in the wrong environment. It might survive, but it's always going to struggle to thrive. But when you plant that same tree in the soil, sunlight and conditions that actually fit its nature, its growth becomes natural. Authenticity isn't about becoming some brand new. It's about removing the layers of expectations that you inherited so you can finally grow from a place that is true to you, your likes, your dislikes, your desires, the things you want to avoid, the things you want to move towards. When you close that gap, the internal conflict stops. Your decision-making goals get clearer. Your relationships get healthier because people are connecting with the real you. And your resilience skyrockets because your identity is no longer dependent on that external validation. Now, I don't expect you to sit around and analyze yourself 24/7. I don't, but I do spend moments where I am very self-reflection focused and I see where these patterns reside. And I want to take steps towards personal growth. So I want to invite you to take some small moments of pause to connect the dots in your life. Because the second you build awareness around why you are behaving a certain way and recognizing that people pleasing is a way to behave, you will unlock the power to choose something different if you want to, if you recognize that you need to for your own well-being and your own authenticity. So, here's a reflection question that I encourage you to spend some time with. Now, write this down, okay? Put it in your phone, write it down on a piece of paper, or come back to this video later and spend some time with this. Here's the question. If I didn't need anyone's approval and I wasn't afraid of disappointing anyone, what would I want to believe, choose, and pursue right now? If I didn't need anyone's approval and I wasn't afraid of disappointing anyone, what would I want, believe, choose, or pursue right now? The answer might not show up immediately, but the clues it reveals will lead you straight back to yourself. All right, everyone. I hope this gives you a roadmap to take a breath, step out of the approval loop that you may be in today. You don't have to carry the expectations of the entire world to be a good person. And if you are ready to dig deeper into where this programming came from, grab a copy of my book, Why Am I Like This? It's available in local library branches near me, or you can also get your own copy on Amazon. And if you are tired of living with the underlying resentment of people pleasing and you want real, loving accountability to help you find your voice again, let's talk. Book a no cost clarity call with me today by visiting my website, lifecoachingwithcarissa.com. Let's get you back in alignment with who you truly are. All right, everyone, stay present, stay curious, and I will see you in the next deep dive. Have a beautiful day.